my name is Sarah and welcome to my channel, Reading Category Romance, and welcome to another weekly reading vlog. Happy Sunday, everybody. Today is the 1st of March. Again, it's Sunday. It is about 10:30 in the morning, and I just filmed 2 videos. I filmed my Monday video and my Tuesday video, so I'm going to get those edited today and get those posted for my channel members early. Also because I have an appointment at the hospital tomorrow. I'm having my angiogram. Not looking forward to it, but these things need to be done. Let's get super scary procedure number 2 out of the way, and then we don't have to think about it for a long time. I think I'll eventually, I will need another one. It's their way of being able to I think it's like a yearly thing, but I'm not absolutely certain, so we shall see. But anyway, let's just get it over and done with. So while I'm not looking forward to it, I'm happy that it's getting done, and then I'll have the rest of the week with nothing. And I actually don't go back to the hospital till next Monday, which is kind of nice. And that's just for a checkup, like that's just to see the transplant team, so that's cool. Anyway, so yeah, for a Sunday morning, today's been great because I got the vlog for last week edited and uploaded last night. So my goal going forward this week is to do the same thing, is to edit throughout the week and then get the video posted late on Sunday night. That's my hope. So yay, I'm very happy about that. Not that I mind editing. I never had a problem sitting here on Sundays doing the editing, but it can take time. When you have an hour-long vlog, as I like to say, the editing time is about double, maybe even more. So it could be 2.5 hours for me to edit that vlog. Then it's got to export, which can take an hour or so. You know, so it's a long process. Whereas if I can do it slowly throughout the week, it makes things a lot easier. So yeah, I did that experiment this week and it worked out very well, and I will be continuing to do it. So yeah, because then it kind of frees up my Sundays to film some videos and just generally relax, which is always nice. So reading update for this morning, because I did do a little bit of reading before I jumped in the shower. That's typically the way that I do things. I sit and I have my coffee, and I read the first 3 chapters in Little Miss Stoneybrook and Dawn, book number 15 in the Babysitters Club series. So this is a new start as of this morning, but I always have a Babysitters Club book on the go. So yeah, so I did that, did some knitting, and I listened to this on audio. I mentioned in my Week in Books video I just filmed it, so you guys would have already seen it. It's kind of weird doing this because like things are in the past, but you guys haven't seen it yet, or it hasn't posted yet. Anyway, I talk about the fact that I decided to treat myself, and some of the Babysitters Club books were kind of in a way on sale because I own the ebooks, and you get the Whisper Sync price. Is that what it is? Through Amazon or through Audible. So I was able to get books 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So I got 5 books for like $3 or $4 each. I think it came to like $15 or $16. I paid for 5 ebooks, or 5 audiobooks, pardon me, which really isn't isn't bad. I mean, they're only like 3-hour long audiobooks, but that's still pretty good. Like $1 an hour or something if you think about it, like with the cost. So yeah, so I'm very happy about that because I've been enjoying them on audio. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to buy them all going forward. Like, I have book 19 on audio. I don't have book 20, but I own book 20 as an ebook. And I don't own book 21. So book 21, I think I'm probably going to read from the library. Borrow it from the library. That's kind of my goal. I'm really trying not to buy books, especially books I already own. But like I said, I've just really been enjoying. And $15, I could spare $15 to get a couple of audiobooks. So anyway, I'm rambling on that one. But yeah, so today's plans is pretty much relaxing this afternoon or today. We are supposed to go over to my brother's house for dinner tonight. It was my niece's birthday on Thursday. And my birthday, of course, is her birthday was Friday. My birthday is this Thursday. So we kind of do that. Anyway, but I'll report back. But anyway, guys, that's all I got for right now. I will check in later. Hello friends, happy Tuesday. Today is the 3rd of March, and I know I haven't recorded anything since Sunday, and I only did that one little clip on Sunday, so my apologies. The rest of this week should be a lot better. So yesterday, I was at the hospital all day, which is why I didn't record anything. We got there just before 10 or like 10 o'clock, and we didn't get out of there till like after 3. And we had to take an Uber home because walking and, stairs and stuff were not really optimal for me. The angiogram was done yesterday. Unfortunately, they couldn't go through my wrist, which was what they wanted. My arteries were just too dainty, or at least they were in that arm. So they didn't want to chance it. So they went through the artery in my groin, which meant a lot more downtime and stuff like that. So anyway, everything went fine. It was an unpleasant procedure, but now I kind of know what to expect because this is going to be the regular for me. And not all the time. I think it's like, maybe another couple years I'll have to have it done again, but it's like going to be something that is going to be like a regular test, every year, every couple of years, of whatever the case may be. But the doctor did say that everything looked fantastic. And yeah. So anyway, reading update. I finished 2 books on Sunday night. I finished reading Vermont Valentine by Kristin Hardy, and I gave that one 4 stars. And then I also finished a Firefighter's Ranch Homecoming. I can't. Isn't that horrible of me? I can't. The cover, of course, will be right here. By the lovely Anna Grace. The author sent me a copy of this book for review. And guys, I gave it 5 stars. I loved this book so much. So stay tuned tomorrow or on Monday. Stay tuned on Monday for my week in review or my week in books. And I will be talking about both of those books that I finished. So yeah, so not much of a reading update from yesterday. I did do a bit of reading on the train on the way to the hospital. Didn't do any reading at the hospital. And I read my couple of chapters in the Babysitters Club book in the Uber on the way home, but that was really it, you guys. I was super tired yesterday. I did not get a ton done. I mean, totally understandable. You know what I mean? So today I have done a little bit of reading. I read 2 more chapters and I'm now, how far am I through it? I'm 38%, I think, of the way through Overboard for the Holidays by Heatherly Bell. This is the 9th book in the charming Texas series. I have read a handful of books, like a couple of books in this series, but this is the newest one, and it came out in either November or December of last year. And I decided just to pick up a Christmas book. I picked this one up last week when I was doing the midweek motivation over on Sock's channel at Bargain Counter Argument, linked to her channel, of course, below. And because last Wednesday was the 25th of February, and on the 25th of every month, she reads a Christmas book, and I love that idea, so I started a Christmas book. But anyway, this is about a woman who, she's going by the name Elsa in the book. Like, she's given a different name her actual name is different. It starts with an L. I think it's Lauren or Laura at the beginning of the book. But in the beginning of the book, she's at this holiday party for her work, and she ends up falling off the yacht, and nobody seems to notice. And while she's trying to get to shore, like she didn't hit her head when she fell off the yacht. When she's trying to get to shore, she somehow hits her head. Either it's like somebody's like, a piece of driftwood, or I'm thinking somebody's oar in their boat or something like that, and then she loses her memory. So she's rescued by Rowan, who is our male lead, and Presley just came in the room, and he is taking her in, and she still has no memory of who she is. She has vague recollections of like her mom, and she remembers that we just had a scene where they went to this like store for clothing. Sorry about Presley. And she remembered that she really likes like fancy shoes and dresses, but she seems to think she can't afford them. But from the beginning of the book, it seems like she had a very well-paying job, so she can afford things like that. But I think she's remembering even further back when maybe she didn't have as much money or something like that. But anyway, the point of the book we're at now is that the company that she works for has booked this company boat trip. This takes place, like I said, it's in charming Texas, but somewhere near Galveston. So on the bay or something like that. And this boat tour, excuse me. So this company has gone on the boat tour, and the owner of the company, the father, because it's a father-son company, the father seems like he's having a heart attack. So that's the point of the book we're at now. So something's going to come out with who she is, I think. And like, why hasn't anyone been looking for her, kind of an idea. But I guess they keep alluding to an incident that happened the last time. But anyway, I'm now like really invested in this book to find out what's going on. So anyway, but it is like almost 1:00. I'm starving. I'm going to go make some lunch, and I will talk to you guys later today. I promise I will be picking up the camera a lot more this week, and I'll talk to you guys a little bit later today. Bye. Hello, BookTube. Happy Wednesday. Today is the 4th of March. And I am not doing so good at this whole vlogging thing this week. Yesterday, I'm totally gonna pop back in again. I had a nap. And then, anyway, it's a thing. It's a thing that happened. And you know what? Clearly my body needed yesterday to heal from the day before, from the procedure, from the big scary procedure. So now here we are. Yay! I did do some decent reading yesterday. I read some more I told you guys about Overboard for the holidays, so I read some more of that. And then I read some more in the Phantom Evil book, the first book in the Crew of Hunters series by Heather Graham. I am now like 70, almost 75% of the way through that one, so yay on that. And then I read some more in A Nest of Vipers by an author whose name I cannot say or pronounce, pardon me. The cover will be up here, and I am now about 12% of the way through this one. I did borrow it on audio from the library, which has been, like, I was listening to a bit of it last night, because I really like, the accent of the narrator, and there's a lot of words in, that are not in English that I don't particularly know. However, the book itself, the physical book, because I do have the physical book out from the library, has a glossary in the back because all the words in, is it Hindi maybe, are in italics. And then the glossary gives you the kind of English definition of the word, if you will, like a loose translation, because it's not one-to-one translation necessarily. So I read some more of that last night. And then right before I went to bed last night, I'm now 35% of the way through, Reclaiming His Viking Queen by Lucy Morris, which is a 2026 category romance book. But it is currently, what is it, 10 to 10? Yeah, it's about 10 to 10 in the morning. Pretty good guess. I have to take my pills. I just filmed my March TBR, which is going to go up today. I have to edit that, and I've got a lot of images to add into that video. So it's going to take me a little bit of time, but I haven't done any reading yet today. So I wanted to get all this done before I got to sit down and do some reading. So I am going to go ahead and do that now. Get my my TBR edited and then posted for everybody. I had really hoped to get a day ahead this week where, you know, like for example, I would film my Wednesday video on Tuesday and then get it posted for my channel members. But I think I'm going to be a little bit behind on that. I might try and catch up tomorrow. Tomorrow I might film both my my February wrap up as well as my Friday reads. I think I might film both of those, and then I can post the Friday reads like kind of early, I guess, for my channel members. And then Friday I can record my Saturday video, and Saturday I take the day off because Sunday is vlog day. So yeah. But anyway, I am rambling on and on. Doesn't matter. There hasn't been much in this vlog so far anyway. We do have to go to the grocery store, pick up a couple things because we are going to do pasta for dinner tonight, which I'm very excited about. We had bought like green pepper and onion last week to do like submarine sandwiches. We were doing pizza subs, so we bought like pizza sauce and like pepper. Oh, so good. But anyway, so we have this onion and green pepper, and before they go bad, we're going to go get some mushrooms, some spaghetti sauce. We already have pasta. And we already have mushrooms, so it's going to be our meatballs. So it's going to be a very affordable dinner tonight. But we're going to go pick up that in a little bit. I want to get my video for today edited and at least started exporting first before we head out to the grocery store. I am still enjoying my coffee this morning from Timmy's. I'm buying it from Timmy's this week because, even though it's more expensive than McDonald's, mainly because it's the roll up the rim time. So you could, for those of you who are not American or not Canadian, I don't know if you guys do this in the U.S. If those of you have Timmy's in the U.S. do this. I can't get the sleeve off. Come on. That's going to give me a fight. Anyway, so you like roll up the rim. Like you can actually roll this up and you can win prizes. So they have like, mostly the most you're going to win is like a coffee or a donut or points, Tim Hortons points, but those are on the app. But anyway, I think you could like win a car, 2 ways to roll. Yeah, sell off vacations, cash, a car. I worked at Tim Hortons many, many, many moons ago. Back in my late teens and early 20s, I did a 4-year stint working behind the counter at Tim Hortons before I started working for Carrier Canada, when I worked for the HVAC company doing customer service. That's an entire other story that somebody took a chance on me. Some girl who was just working behind a counter at a coffee shop got a job doing customer service when I had no experience. But, you know, that's some of the things that happened 25 years ago that would never happen now. But anyway, I was working at Tim Hortons and we used to get the deliveries in the back of like the boxes of cups and supplies and things like that. And it was during roll up the rim time. And this box came in and it was like unlabeled. So normally the box would be like extra large cups, count of blah, 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 whatever the case may be. But this was like literally just a brown cardboard box. And I'm like, we're all like, what's in the box? And my manager at the time got so excited. She's like, oh my gosh, there's a car in this box. That's how they would like distinguish which stores, I guess, would get a car. And I knew they were extra large cups, but somewhere within that box was a winning car cup. And it's not like you needed the 3 pieces of the car. It just would say winner car or whatever the case may be. And I remember calling my dad at home, being like, you got to get over here and you got to buy some. Because at the time, when I was working at Timmy's, you could get free coffee and tea and things like that as an employee or Timbit Donuts. But if it was roll up the rim time, you were not allowed to use these cups. You could only use, they kept like just the regular cups aside for employee use. And because it was a contest. And also friends and family of employees were not entitled to win. However, there are always ways around that. So I'm like to my dad, I'm like, blah, 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 blah. So he would start coming to the store and, he would get coffee and stuff like that and whatever in extra large cups. Never won a car. Never won a car. After I left Tim Hortons and I was working full time elsewhere, I think it was like a year or 2 after this, my mother rolled the cup to win like a set of camping equipment, which was ironic because we don't camp. I'm not paying to sleep outside in the dirt or on the hard ground. There are camping enthusiasts out there. I am not one of them. So I think we ended up giving some of it away. We kept the cooler and like the lantern and stuff, but like the tent and all that, that was a pretty cool prize, for somebody, not for us necessarily. But yeah, and my dad's like, well, what if I roll the car? I'm like, you have to give it to somebody else and go to a different store, like give it to like a buddy and like work something out with them and like have them go to this happens all the time, guys. Like don't, oh, well, why? That's how you cheat. That's not cheating. I didn't give him the cup. I just said we might have one here. That's my understanding. From my recollection, the car winner never showed back up at our store. So, because you don't have to go back to the store you bought the drink from, if somebody was just passing through, like I was at the mall, like that's the store I worked at, it was at the local mall. So, I mean, that person could have just stopped in. They could have a Tim Hortons closer to home. They just happened to be at the mall doing some shopping. So if they won something, maybe they took it back to their local store, So we never saw the actual winner. But anyway, that was the thing. I went on a whole 10-minute story there about Tim Hortons, which you guys probably didn't care about, but the things we did in our youth. So yeah, I'm just happy at this point if I win a coffee or donut. I won a coffee yesterday, but that's the reason I'm drinking Timmy's. It's not my preferred coffee. I absolutely prefer McDonald's because of the cost and the taste. But that's just my opinion. Very un-Canadian of me, but it is a thing. So anyway, guys, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to get some editing done, and I'll pop back in this afternoon. I promise. I'll pop back in this afternoon. Bye, guys. Good afternoon, friends. It's about 1:30 in the afternoon, a little after 1:30 in the afternoon, and I've been sitting here. I did a little bit of reading. I am now almost finished Little Miss Stoneybrook and Dawn by Anne M. Martin. I think I'm 76% of the way through that one. I will finish that tomorrow. That's the game plan. I read those Baby Stars Club books, as I've mentioned, over 5 days. But like I said, it's about 1:30, and in about a half an hour, I'm going to be jumping over to Sock's channel at Bargain Counter Argument to do some live midweek motivation reading sprints. I love participating in these on Wednesdays, and I'm so thrilled that she asks me to be a part of them. But I am doing some cross-stitch, so I thought I'd show you guys. This is Book Burrow is the name of the pattern by Nath Nolu. I will leave link to the pattern below. I bought it on Etsy, and she's got some super, super cute patterns. I bought 3 at the same time. And I had my husband vote on which one, so I thought I'd show you the whole piece. So that's what it's going to look like. So it is it's a badger, right? And he's reading. And look, he's got books beside him. He's like me. He's got many books on the go. And a lovely cup of tea. Little frog friend. I need a little frog friend. I got Presley. I got a Presley friend, don't I? Hi, buddy. Yeah. But anyway, I ran out of, so anyone else who cross stitches, I ran out of these little doohickeys, these little, what are they? Oh my gosh, little thin cardboardy, little things that you wrap the yarn around. So I was at the dollar store. Now, they're about $5 or so for 50 of them, but I got 50 of these little bags for $1.50. That seems like a better deal. So what I've been doing is putting them in little baggies. And then I can just put them in. So here's the thread I haven't used yet inside my cross stitch. Oh, isn't this gorgeous? Got cover I love this so, so much. But yeah, where did I get this from? Oh, hold on. I can tell you right now. Hold on. So this is from Gammy's Treasures, and that's on Etsy. If I can find her shop, I will link that below too. I bought this years ago, and I'm just, you know me, I'm Halloween all the things for me, all year long. So this is the fabric on this. Isn't this gorgeous? But yeah, this doesn't fit inside there. It sits outside of it. But if I'm not working on the piece, I can take it out of the frame, fold it up, and stick it inside the bag. But anyway, so these are the ones that I haven't used yet. These are the threads I haven't used yet. But these are the ones I have used in the baggies. So what I'm thinking is I can just put all these in here, right? And then if I'm traveling with it for some reason, I've got everything included, and I don't have to grab this big case. That's my thought process anyway. So yeah, that's it for now. I just thought I'd show you guys something a little bit different other than just me talking in books. So I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, friends, me again, and I am back here because I need your help. So tomorrow is my birthday, and I'm not buying myself anything until Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, because I have no money till that. I get my income comes on Tuesday. So I'm going to treat myself on Tuesday and buy myself a pattern and probably the floss and the fabric that I'm going to need to do another piece. So this is Satsuma Street. She is one of my absolute favorite cross-stitch designers. She's on Etsy. I will leave a link to her Etsy shop below. As you can see, I have favorited like all of these. This is her Pretty Little Cities series. And I own a couple of these. I own Hawaii, which is this one. And I have not completely stitched yet. I could stitch one I already own, but where's the fun in that? I want something new. I always like to do a new piece for my birthday. I own this one, which is Pretty Little San Francisco. And I also own, of course, Pretty Little Toronto. So I want to buy another one. And I have it narrowed down to 2, and I need you guys to vote, please. So we have here, first of all, let me see if I can get this in. Whoops. This is Pretty Little Grease. Isn't that delightful? Oh, I just love these so, so much. So this is Pretty Little Grease. The other one, which I think is also super cute, this is Pretty Little India. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, I just love these so, so much. So if you guys could vote Greece or India, let me know. And I know they're not cities, like the other ones I showed you were like, London or Toronto. Those were cities. These aren't like, Athens or Bangladesh. They're more the Pretty Little Country, but it's still the Pretty Little series. Yeah, so do let me know below, you guys, which one should I do? India or Greece? Big decisions, guys. Big decisions. Let me know below, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Hello, friends, and good evening. This might be the last clip of today's vlog, or today's part of the vlog. We shall see. But anyway, just popping in. It's almost 8 o'clock at night, and I've been doing some reading. I've been doing a bunch of stuff since the last time I talked to you, because I showed you, like, the cross-stitch stuff that I was working on. But I have an update on that, or a cross-stitch update, I should say. But first of all, so I just finished dinner not long ago. We made spaghetti for dinner, which was delicious. So I had that. I made way too much. I always wait. You never make too little noodles. You only ever make too many noodles. Just the way that it goes. So I had my spaghetti for dinner with meatballs. It was delicious. And then I came back up here and I tended to my war wound from Monday. So they had like a clear bandage, like a big, it was big, but the size of my hand, over it, like with a gauze thing in the center. But like there was no chance of anything getting into this, like where they cleaned, like when they put the bandage on. So anyway, basically I was told in the hospital that I could remove it today. I tried to do it this morning when I got out of the shower, but I guess because my skin was wet, the Band-Aid itself, like, not the Band-Aid, but the gauze part was not wet at all because, like, it was sealed inside there. Like, it was, like, preserved for all time, basically. It didn't get wet or anything at all like that. And he said that's the one thing, like, when you shower, if it gets wet, you gotta remove it because you don't want any bacteria or anything to grow. But it didn't get wet at all, so I just thought I'll just leave it, and I'll take it off later. So I thought I'm gonna do that now. So I went ahead and I did that, and I have gauze pads, like sterile gauze pads, like in packets, that, and along with, medical tape. And also, the hospital gave me a couple, but I still had some. And they're pretty cool. They're like packaged. It's like a long stick with like a spongy part at the bottom, but it's inside this entire thing. It's like antiseptic, like, you know, like rubbing alcohol antiseptic. Not rubbing alcohol, but it's antiseptic. But it's on this like little wand thing. So you open up the package and you're only touching like the handle part, and you take it out and then you put it on. And like he explained to me, he said, put it on, soak it. Like make it like soak the area. And he says, and let it air dry. So I'm laying here on the bed, like waving like paper. Cause I see the nurses do that all the time at the hospital, like trying to get things to dry. And then he said, you know, like just leave it out. When I had the procedure done, she actually put a couple of like tiny, cause it's the hole is so tiny. She put a couple stitches in there just so I wouldn't have to lay down for as long. So he said, you don't have to watch it as carefully, but what I noticed, because I just took the bandage off, it was like really sensitive. So, what I did was I took some of that gauze that I had, and I still have all this medical equipment back from when, the nurse came to see me after transplant. So I have medical scissors that I've been keeping, like I have a special little medical area where I keep everything like as sanitized as I possibly can. And I wipe the scissors down with rubbing alcohol, and I cut a little square out of the the gauze pad. Actually had gloves on when I was doing everything. And then I put it on the thing, like after I let that stuff dry, and then I just put it over with just a little bit of medical tape just to hold it down. But it's all like, it's really open to the air. Like it's just kind of covering it enough so it's not rubbing against my pants, if that makes sense. So that's what I did. That was my little bit of medical stuff that I did. But what I did earlier, so I was in those sprints with Sock over on her channel, which were super duper fun. I love participating in those on Wednesdays. Mostly, well, for one, I like visiting with Sock. And two, I also, like it because it forces me not to nap. And I'm really trying not to be like a napper in the afternoon, even though naps are delightful. But now I'm yawning, sorry. I do apologize for that. So after we were done on there, I got thinking about the fact that I really wanted to start a new cross-stitch project tomorrow. Because I haven't done it in a few years, but I used to always, like, on my birthday, start a new cross-stitch project. Like, to the point that I'd plan it out from the beginning of the year. And I'd buy the fabric, and I'd buy, you know, and make it kind of like a big deal, and whatever. And I haven't done that. And, like, I mean, again, finances, whatever. So I happened upon that I had a project that I bought the pattern for, like, last year. And so the Witchy Stitcher is the designer. She's actually Canadian. She has done an entire series of nostalgic tarot cards, is what they're called. And I will turn this around afterward to show you. Actually, let me see if I can just hold it up. I got Missy here right now. I guarantee she's going to jump up and she's going to hit my war wound 100%. It's like they know, right? So let me see here. So anyway, she created these whole sets of patterns called the Nostalgic Tarot. So it's a tarot card set, but each card, it's only the major arcana, like the 28, like the Strength and the Fool and the Moon and the Sun and all those cards. Missy, really, as soon as I try and do something. So anyway, I got the first one, which she did, which was Strength, even though it's not in the correct order, but it's the way that she designed them. They are so cute. Like, if you love tarot cards and you love slightly gothic-y, weird, Halloween-y type stuff, and you also, Missy, please don't step on me, and you also love Lisa Frank. If you are of an age that you remember Lisa Frank, so that is the first card. It's called Strength. But as you see, it's a little penguin holding up two ice cream cones to represent strength. And they're all like this. Like the star is like the Mario Brothers star, with like the things around it. They're all so delightful. So I'm slowly going to start purchasing them, but I happened to buy, when I bought the pattern, I also ordered the fabric for this. So I did have both. And yes, I'm going to be stitching black on black fabric, guys. Pray for me. But anyway, I also went through my huge stash of floss, and I had most of them. I'm missing 8 of the colors, but I'm going to start with what I have. And then on Tuesday when I get paid, I'm going to go pick up the colors that I need, along with whatever I need for the next project, because I still want you guys to vote. Sorry, as soon as I sit down to do something. So yeah, so that's what I spent like a good hour or so doing, and I'm going to start that project tomorrow. Sorry, she just stepped on me. She can't sit still. This cat drives me. You drive me crazy. I love you, but you drive me crazy. Anyway, I did a bunch of reading today. So, during the sprints on Sock's channel, I read another couple of chapters of Master of Comus, Missy Stop, by Charlotte Lamb. I love her to death, but she just can't be stepping all over me right now. Anyway, I am not quite, I'm a little over halfway through this one. So this one is about our main character, Leonie, and Paul. Paul is her cousin. Second or third cousin. They have a great-grandfather in common on her mother's side. So anyway, this great-grandfather in common. And he is a very, very, very rich man. And he lives on this island called Comus in Greece, in the Mediterranean Ocean, I'm assuming. Mediterranean Sea. And you are a pain and we love you. And she just wants to be on camera. There she is. There she's going to jump it right. And there we go. It's not a vlog without Missy doing this. Yes, you're a good girl. I love you. I do love you. I will pay attention to you as soon as I'm done. Can I finish, please? So anyway, her mother died, and I think her father was non-existent. I can't remember. And anyway, Paul was a playboy. I'm gonna fix my hair. He's been like womanizing and spending all the family money. Hi, Missy. She's like, I want to touch the book. And all these things. So anyway, the great-grandfather, whatever, calls them both to the island and is like, hey, come down here because I want to talk to you both. And Leonie's never met him, but she's aware of her mother's side of the family and stuff like that. So anyway, she goes there with Paul, like they arrive separately. And the grandfather basically is like, hey, Paul was my sole heir because, you know, basically her aunt raised her, and her aunt, when the great-grandfather approached the aunt and said, hey, I want to see her, the aunt's like, no. And he's like, well, I'm going to cut her out of my will. And she's like, go for it. And Leonie doesn't care. She doesn't want the money. She wants nothing to do with it, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so the grandfather's like, I'm cutting Paul. Paul is no longer my heir. You are. Leonie is. She's like, but I don't want the money. And Paul's like all mad because, of course, now he's losing out on multiple millions of dollars, potentially, along with an entire island in the Mediterranean Sea, and all that comes with it. So anyway, basically the grandfather's like, well, we can solve this problem, like, because he's basically like, if Leonie turns it down, then the grandfather's just gonna, like, give it away to charity. And Paul's like, well, I don't want it to, Paul's basically like, doesn't mind that it goes to charity, but it's like, well, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, turns out the grandfather wants the two of them to marry each other, and that's where we're at now. So they are now officially married, and they were on their honeymoon. There's no consummation of the marriage yet. She's like making him wait a while, like she's not comfortable yet with the whole thing. And because this is kind of was thrown upon her, basically. This book was published in like 1978 or 79. Anyway, not that I'm forgiving it. I'm just saying, like, this is clearly an older category romance. And anyway, they're on this honeymoon on the island in this very remote little area, and they're out for a hike, and she trips and falls and sprains her ankle, and they have to come home and, you know, back to the villa on the island where the great-grandfather is, and blah, 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 blah. So that's where we're at now. I am enjoying it. I know it sounds very, very weird, but I appreciate it for what it is for the time period. If this was a book that had been written today, I wouldn't feel the same way about it. But there's a lot of forgiveness when a book is old, at least in my opinion. And I know not everybody thinks the way that I do, but my opinion is that you cannot look at older books under a modern microscope. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta read them for what they are. The other book that I am almost done on, see, I am literally 2 chapters from finishing, is Phantom Evil by Heather Graham. So I had been listening to this on audio, but over the last few days, I've been picking it up in this print book edition that I borrowed from the library, and I'm very, very happy about that. I've been flying through it that way. I love audio, and I will listen to audio when the time is right. But most of the time, if you gave me the option and said audio or with your eyeballs, I would pick my eyeballs every day because I personally, thankfully, can read faster with my eyeballs. You know, I know that's not the way for a lot of people, so I appreciate this fact that I can, and I enjoy reading physically more than anything else. And I haven't read a hardcover in a long time, and it was kind of really enjoyable. Like, I was sitting downstairs just now, or a little while ago, and Garrett was making dinner, and I was sitting at the kitchen table, and I just had this propped open. I didn't have to hold it open or anything. It just sat open on the table because it's a hardcover. And I love that. I know it's an older hardcover, so it's been read a bunch of times. So over time, you know, it gives it, like if it was a brand new hardcover, I don't think it would just sit open like that. But there's just something about a library book that will just sit open, you know, when you're reading it, especially a hardcover. So yeah. Anyway, so the plot of this one, for those of you who don't know, this is the first book in the Crew of Hunter series. And it is about our main character, Jackson and Angela. And they are working for a special FBI team, as I always like to say. Think the X-Files, but it's ghosts, not aliens. And they're in New Orleans investigating this house, on the cover here, the Delphine house. It was the house of, it was the site of some brutal murders back in the 1800s. And now a woman seems like she ended her own life. And her husband, who is the senator for Louisiana, believes that she did not do this on her own, that ghosts did it. So now they're starting this investigation to find out what's going on. And, you know, I'm almost finished the book. Like, they're narrowing down what's going on. This something has to do with, like, a cult-like church and a white power organization. And yeah, so a lot of politically type stuff in here as well. So, but I love these books. I absolutely love these books. I think they're fantastic. And yeah, so my plan is to read through. There's 39 books in this series, so I've got a lot of ways to go. The other reason that, well, I enjoy these on audio, I don't love them, is because it's a male narrator. And I know that sounds really, really, like, mean of me to say, like, with male narrators, but when they do female voices, nothing drives me more crazy than when a male narrator does female voices. And especially with accents. Like, one of the females in here is Southern, another one is from Ireland, and it just doesn't work for me. So I would rather read these with my eyeballs. But anyway, so that is my update. I don't think, like, this is 13 minutes long. I don't think I'm going to update again today, guys, but I will check in with you all tomorrow. Bye. Hello, my friends, and happy Thursday. Today is the 5th of March. It's my birthday. It's all about me today. And yeah, it is like noon. It's noon o'clock. And I thought I would pop on to start the vlog. Or to start today's part of the vlog, pardon me. So yeah, I got up this morning and I made the executive decision. Now, I was going to film a video today. I was actually going to try and film today's and tomorrow's videos today, but I decided I'm going to take the day off today, like as if this is a job, because it's not. But I just decided I'm not feeling up to filming today, so I didn't. So my February wrap-up will go up on Saturday. You guys will have already seen it by the time you see this video, but I made that decision. So I think I'm going to do both, like film tomorrow, my Friday reads, as well as my month-end wrap-up for February. And then, excuse me. So we had a discussion this morning, Garrett and I, about what we were going to do for dinner tonight. And I would have liked to have gotten some takeout, but, you know, finances. So we're going to do that on Tuesday instead. You don't have to celebrate the day of. You can celebrate afterward. So we went to Walmart and we looked at what was on sale. And we got chicken strips and crinkle cut french fries and gravy. So we're having chicken strips, fries, and gravy. I know that sounds like the most childish dinner to some of you. I'm sure you're like, for my dinner, I had filet mignon, and chicken strips and french fries and gravy make me completely happy. And yeah, so that's good enough for me. But anyway, reading update for right now. I did finish a book this morning. I finished listening to Little Miss Stoneybrook and Dawn by Anna Martin, the 15th book in the Babysitters Club series. I did listen to it on audio from Audible, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it 3.5 stars. Full review for that one, of course, on Monday. So that is good. And I have all my books here beside me to get lots of reading done today. My plan is booktube and reading and some crafting. A full day planned. Now, I did talk yesterday, crafting update. I did talk yesterday about the cross-stitch piece I was going to start today, the cute, cute, cute little penguin tarot card. So I started stitching it this morning on the black, and I just can't because the first color you're doing is black on black, and what I need are one of those, and I used to have one, I have no idea where it is. I actually think I got rid of it because what I used to have was this thing from Amazon, and it was a light that goes around your neck, and it had lights on either side, and it took, I don't know if it took batteries or you plugged it like to charge it like USB kind of thing. The issue is that when I had it a number of years ago, I had to stop using it because pre-transplant I had a pacemaker. And that sitting against the pacemaker was not a good idea because of like the electronic or the battery or something, like the battery against the battery of the pacemaker. So I had to stop using it. I think I gave it away or something like that, but I'd like to get a new one. Now I can use one again because I no longer have the pacemaker. So that'll be great for stitching on black. But I went through my stash of fabric because I do have a bit of fabric that, I bought for other projects that I never did. And I found a piece of pink sparkly fabric. And I think it's going to work perfectly. Now, there are a couple of colors. There's like a whitish color and I think a light gray color that might be a little bit harder to see, but they're in amongst other things. So I'm not as worried about it, but I thought I'd show you guys. So it looks white, but you know what? I'm going to turn the camera around and see if it shows up better. Okay, so I don't know, like, if you guys can see, like, can you see the slight sheen to it? I think it's going to be perfect for this piece. As soon as I saw it, I said, yes. So, yeah, you can see the black just pops off of it. And do you like, this is a needle keeper. It's called a needle keeper. Where's my needle? It's underneath. Hold on. Ignore the blanket. The cat sleep on that. That's why I put this on the bed, so it kind of saves it's disgusting. Anyway, it's a needle keeper, so it's magnetic. But yeah, I thought, come on, I had to use the unicorn. It just went. So that's what I've gotten done so far. Not super, super exciting, but I will update you guys on that one a little bit later. But yeah, I'm going to go and make my lunch, which is going to be an adult Lunchable, as I like to call it. So some meat, some cheese, and some crackers, and I will talk to you guys later. Hello, friends. Coming to you with a bit of a crafty update. So I made an executive decision. I don't like stitching on the black because it's just far too hard to see. Regardless of if I get the light or not, I tried it again this afternoon, and it was just too much of a pain. I thought, well, if I don't start with the black, but it just wasn't working. Now, I'm working on, and of course the black shows up great on this. And the other colors look good too, but I still feel like they're kind of muted a little bit. So what I think I'm going to do is, when I get some money, is I'm going to order some gray fabric. I think that's a happy medium. Not quite black, but still darker to let the colors pop. Now, I think there's a gray there is a gray right here that you do use. But I'm not too worried about that. That would be relatively easy. I think overall, now I've seen other people stitch this on black and it looks amazing. It's just, maybe if I had better lighting, but I want something that, I enjoy cross-stitching. And, it doesn't have to be, this is the easiest thing in the world. But I don't want to be frustrated. And I think I was getting frustrated. So, yeah, I tried. But, see, I'm stitching white. You can't even see it. So I think gray is going to be the way to go. So this is going to get put away for now. And I think I'm going to look through my stash of patterns and see if I can't come up with something else. So maybe I'll report back tomorrow on that. But anyway, I'll pop back on a bit later and give you guys a reading update. So for something other than my cross-stitch and reading, here's Moo doing some sort of interpretive dance. I don't know what she's interpreting. Hi. Look at the colors. And of course, we need the handsome man. Look at him. He's all arms and legs on that blanket. This blanket was my Christmas gift this year, but alas, Presley has stolen it as his own. Right, buddy? And the Moo. My buddies. Hello, friends. It is just after 5. So, coming to with actually a reading update, and then I'm going to give you a small cross-stitch update. So, reading update. I've done a bit more reading this afternoon. I read another couple of chapters of Colton K-9 Cop by Addison Fox. I am, almost done this. I think I have a couple chapters left in it. Should finish it tomorrow, maybe? As you guys know, I rotate through all my books, and I'm reading a ludicrous amount of books right now. So, yeah, I am really enjoying this one. I haven't talked about this one yet in this vlog. So, basically, this is about our main character, Donovan. Our main characters, Donovan and Bellamy. And Bellamy is being targeted at her place of business, where she works. She works in finance for a large pharmaceutical company. And what happened is, at the very beginning of the book, she receives this, really anonymous email, it doesn't give a from person, it just says it's an internal email, and it says something about the supply chain for the flu vaccine and how they're purposely, holding them back, supply and demand kind of scenario to drive up the price, basically, practices that a pharmaceutical company should not be doing. So she takes this email to HR, and she's like, hey, I got this, do you guys want it, is this, a joke, is this whatever? and she immediately gets fired. She's been there for 13 years. They're like, you made it up, you know, because her parents have recently passed away over the summer. This actually takes place at Christmas, surprisingly. Based on the cover, you would never know that. But it does take place over the Christmas break, or like the Christmas season, if you will. Christmas does not feature very heavily in the book. It's noted, like in one scene, Bellamy and Donovan go for like a drive in this very affluent neighborhood in Austin, Texas to look at the lights and stuff like that. You know, they talk about Christmas music and stuff. But anyway, her parents have just passed, and they're like, well, maybe you're trying to extort us for money and this whole thing. So they fire her, and she'd been with the company for like 13 years, like a model employee. And so she gets fired. She's like, this is weird. So, but she had printed off the email and she kept it on her. So then she goes out to her car, and as she's packing her stuff in the car, her car explodes. So somebody set a bomb in her car. So Donovan is a Colton. He is a local police officer, and he is sent to investigate the explosion. So now he becomes kind of like her bodyguard protector, and he doesn't have a partner per se. He's got his dog. He's a canine cop, and he's got Alex, which is his dog. So anyway, basically now they're trying to keep Bellamy safe and to find out what is going on with this pharmaceutical company. So that's basically the plot of this story. It's really, really good. And I'm enjoying it quite a bit. And like I said, I should hopefully maybe get it done tomorrow. But anyway, so I read some of that. And then I read another chapter or so in The Cinderella Governess by Georgie Lee. And in this, I'm about almost 40% of the way through this one. So in this one, we have our main character, Joanne, who is a governess. And she does not know who her parents are. She was left on the doorstep of like this orphanage, finishing school for girls kind of an idea. And they took her in and trained her to, as she was growing up, trained her to be a governess. So she's now of age, and she's been hired by this very well-to-do family in the country. And she has, like, her oldest charge has just had her coming out, like, this is her coming out year kind of an idea. And then she's got 3 younger girls that she's kind of, like, being a governess for. And anyway, at a ball, like, she was kind of there to keep the older daughter, like, in check, like, basically being a chaperone, because the mother couldn't be bothered. The mother wanted to play cards with her friends, and is like, hey, you're the governess, your other charges are sleeping, do something with, you know, like, watch out for Frances, basically. So Joanna is watching after Frances, and Frances is a bit of a pain in the butt, and she goes off with this gentleman, and they are found in a dark room together, and this is Regency times. So Joanna pulls her out, and this man shows up, and he is a captain. So he's Luke. So he's our male lead. And he is the second son to an earl or a duke. I think it's an earl. And his brother, of course, is going to take on the earldom. He's married, but they cannot produce an heir. So they need an heir to pass down the line. So Luke has been in war. He's a captain in the military and all these things. And I think it's during the Napoleonic Wars. Anyway, he has been summoned back from war, and he's basically to marry and produce an heir, just in case the brother can't, so that way the lineage will pass down. Luke wants nothing to do with this. He thinks this is boring as all get out, like all these balls and dances and these tittering little, like, girls, like, not yet little girls, but women, you know, young women coming after him. He thinks this is all frivolous and silly, and I mean, he's seen war. He's, you know, been there when men have died, and, you know, he thinks this is just absolutely what a ridiculous way to spend your time. But, you know, this is the way that things were, and, you know, lineage and, you know, heirs and all that were very, very important. So he's being thrust into these matchmaking mamas kind of a scenario. Well, at the ball, he meets Joanna, and he's quite smitten with her, but she's, of course, just the governess. But something is coming to light that maybe she's more than the governess, like, again, the Cinderella governess. So, you know, it seems like she might be the granddaughter of a very wealthy man who lives in town. So, yeah, so that's where we are with that one. But yeah, that's all the reading that I've gotten done. So kind of quick cross-stitch update is that, as you guys know, I'm putting the strength one aside for now until I can get the proper fabric for it. But I did decide, now I asked you guys to vote, I think it was yesterday I was showing you the stuff, between the 2 pictures, the Pretty Little India and the Pretty Little Greece. I've decided to start one of the ones I already have. So I still want you to vote because I'm going to buy myself one as a birthday gift to stitch at a later date. But I've decided to start Pretty Little Toronto. So I've been unpicking what I did today in the fabric because I'm going to use that fabric. It's going to be perfect. And tomorrow morning, because I'm kind of like, it's getting dark out and my eyes just can't see as well with the cross stitch. So now that this is when I pick up my knitting is in the evening. So because it's much, much easier on my eyes. So, tomorrow I'm going to go through my thread stash and find I'm sure I have all the colors that I need. And if I don't, then I'll just pick up what I need at a later date. But yes, I'm going to start that tomorrow. So I will update that tomorrow. But I'll probably pop in one more time tonight. I think what I might do though, is I might start editing this vlog tonight because I have a feeling it might be long. I didn't yap the first couple of days, but now I'm like, you can't shut me up. So yeah, I will check in with you guys in a bit. Bye. Hello friends, it is 8:30 at night and I'm coming to you with the final clip of today's vlog. Today's part of the vlog. Not today's vlog, today's part of the vlog. So yeah, we had dinner. Did I tell you guys what I was having for dinner? We very excitedly got chicken strips, french fries, and beef gravy. And I know, chicken strips and beef gravy, it's delicious together. I'm telling you, it's absolutely delicious together. And my husband and I were saying, like, the fries, they were just like the McCain crinkle cut, like, extra crispy fries, and we did them in the air fryer. They were so good with the gravy, but it's like the cheap beef gravy from Walmart, like 97 cents a can on sale, that kind of thing. But Garrett and I were both saying the fries reminded of us, like, even though we didn't go to the same high school, but it's like a shared experience for the area, I guess, that, you know, on Fridays, at least in my high school, you used to get like a box of French fries, like the shoelace fries or shoestring fries, or is that shoestring fries? Shoelace fries. And for an extra like 50 cents or something, or 25 cents, they would put gravy on them. And that's what it tasted like. Like, oh, it was so good. And that box of fries for $2 were just, those were my downfall. Every Friday, I always made sure to have my $2 to get my box of fries. That was my lunch. I lived off that in high school. That and a thing of chocolate milk. Anyway, now I want chocolate milk. So yeah, so I had that for dinner, and then I've been relaxing, and I did some more reading. I am now 130 pages. I'm almost done this. It's 180, 190. Got about 60 pages left of Master of Comus by Charlotte Lamb, and this has been enjoyable, surprisingly enough. I mean, he is an alpha male. Most of these are. He's a brute. You know, I talked about this one already. So they're in Paris. And, you know, he wants her to, he's very big in business, and he wants her to, of course, play the part of his wife, even though it's a marriage in name only. And his business partner shows up at their apartment, because I forgot at first when I was like, they're in a hotel. No, they're in Paul's apartment. He's got an apartment in Paris. Pardon me. And because he does a lot of business there, so of course it's easier to keep a place there. So his business partner, Jake, shows up, and Jake assumes, like, Jake has a key. Pardon me. Jake has a key to the apartment, and he shows up, and he sees Leonie there, and he's like, oh, you're one of Paul's, like, little flings. And then he realizes that, no, this is now his wife. So anyway, word gets around, and this woman named Diane invites them all for dinner with this big group of other people, and Diane is quite the harpy to Leonie, and basically announces to all of them that, you know, Jake walks into this apartment, and Leonie's walking around in her robe because it's her apartment. And, you know, he comments thinking it's one of Paul's little flings, only to realize it's his wife. So basically, Diane's embarrassing Paul and Leonie in front of everybody. But there are a couple of other people at the party who befriend Leonie and are like, you know, we'll invite you to dinner, just you and Paul and us. And, you know, and Leonie basically tells Paul, I really don't want to deal with Diane. And he's like, but her husband, George, is a business associate of mine, so there are going to be times that you're going to have to deal with her. So basically, you're going to have to kind of put up with it, kind of an idea. So, like, I mean, like, he is kind of a brute, not really taking her feelings into account, but that's the way that these books go, and I am used to it. Not used to it. I don't believe men should be this way. I don't mistake me reading these and enjoying these thinking that I think that men should act this way, because that's absolutely not the case. But, I can appreciate them for what they are for the time period they're written in. And there was a line in here that, of course, because I've mentioned this before, I love the new Taylor Swift album, that the line, Storm in a Teacup, was used. And that's a line from the song Opalite. And I hadn't realized that. I mean, I'd heard the phrase in the song, but I didn't put two and two together, and I realized that it is like an idiom, I guess, or you would call it. It's basically meaning making a mountain out of a molehill. And I really, really like the phrase, and I, you know, like, basically making something small out of, like, something big out of nothing. So I just thought that that was kind of fun, you know. But anyway, that's it for today, guys. I rambled on. I've got to start editing this vlog tomorrow. I've got some videos I want to film tomorrow as well. Tomorrow's going to be a busy day. Like I said, I took today off for my birthday, but we're back at it tomorrow, like as if BookTube is my kind of my job right now, if you will. And I'm loving every second. If I could do this for a living, I would be happier than a pig in poop. But anyway, guys, I'm going to let you go, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye. Hello, friends. Happy Friday. Today is the 6th of March, and it is 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm finally checking in. I have done almost no reading today, you guys. Yesterday was a bomb day for reading. Today, not so much. So I got up and I did some stuff, played around on my computer, got some stuff organized for a video that I didn't even film today. That'll tell you where my head's at. And I'll talk about all that next week because I didn't do a Friday video today. I've decided not to do my Friday Reads videos anymore, only because I love Friday Reads. And I'm going to talk about this again next Friday when I do my new Friday videos that I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to share that just with you just yet. It's a surprise. It's coming. But it's going to be like a regular Friday feature, basically, on the channel. So I love Friday Reads, and I think more of BookTube should do Friday Reads. However, I vlog, so I'm talking about these books all week long. For me to sit down and do a Friday Reads that most of you are probably going to watch, you know, you're going to see me talking about the books like 2 days later on the vlog. Does that make sense? Like, I just didn't feel, and plus I have so many books on the go. It's like, what do I talk about? What haven't I talked about? A lot of books are being repeated week to week. So I just thought I had a new idea. It was an idea I had before at the beginning of the year, but I didn't know quite where to fit it in. But I'm really, really happy to be putting it on the channel. So anyway, I've not done any reading today. So I did that. Then I showered. And then Garrett and I went to the grocery store. And tonight for dinner, I'm very excited. We're having 2 delicious dinners in a row. So we talked about doing, so I think it's still in the US, but you cannot get it here in Canada anymore, is a hamburger helper that is like a taco one with rice. And when we would make this, we would put it in like a burrito, like make a burrito, and put sour cream and salsa and, you know, lettuce and tomato and onions and all the, and it was so, so, so good. So it's fairly easy to make. You do not need the box of hamburger helper, right? So it's just like taco meat or meat, ground beef, taco seasoning, and then minute rice, basically, and just make it, basically you're making taco meat, but you're adding rice. So I would do half the amount of meat and then rice. So I've made it before, but it's been a while, and I've been in the mood for it. So I mentioned it to Garrett, and we got talking back and forth. And then it suddenly became, because it's Friday, and it's just, Friday is lazy days, now we're just having nachos. So I'm still going to make the taco meat, but we're going to serve it over, like, we got Tostitos. We got the restaurant-style Tostitos. We got salsa, and we got cheese. So that's going to be dinner tonight, is nachos. And I am perfectly, it's basically deconstructed tacos, like, you know, nachos, deconstructed tacos. It's like I saw a video the other day, somebody was making something. Have you guys seen the guy who cooks for the sorority houses? Kevin? I can't remember his channel name, but I see him on Instagram and Facebook, and he's probably on TikTok. I'm not on TikTok, but I see all these TikTok people on like Facebook and Instagram. But anyway, he cooks for a sorority house, and like, I've never wanted to be in a sorority so much as I just want him to cook for me. But he was making like burritos for the sorority house for this one night for dinner. And he's like, yeah, now you know how to make everything from Taco Bell. It's just all the ingredients are put in differently. And I'm like, that's literally Taco Bell. But it's still delicious. So anyway, we're doing that for dinner tonight. So we grabbed all that stuff. Plus I got some more yogurt for my breakfast because I don't know if I mentioned my new breakfasts, and they've been so good on my stomach, and it's been like a good source of protein and all that stuff, is the Oikos Greek yogurt. Because they're decent for protein, but I get the ones that are extra creamy. I like the black cherry one. It's my favorite. So I get that, and I top it with some granola. Like I buy a bag of like granola. And it's a berry granola, I guess. So, anyway, that, and then I get strawberries, and I have the frozen strawberries. Like I buy a bag of frozen strawberries from the grocery store, and I put them in a container in the fridge. Like half the bag goes in a container in the fridge, and so they de-thaw. So, I mean, they're a little watery, whatever, but I just put them on top of my yogurt. They're delicious. And that's been my breakfast. And then later in the morning, I have a piece of toast with some peanut butter as my mid-morning snack before lunch. But anyway, so got that. What else did I get at the grocery store? Oh, I got some popcorn. I got some microwave popcorn. I got the Smart Pop from Orville Redenbacher, and just the mini bags, because that's more than enough for me. And what else did we buy? Just the stuff for dinner, and that was it. And then we came home, and I had my lunch, And then I got my cross-stitch stuff organized. I talked about yesterday because I'm doing Pretty Little Toronto from Satsuma Street. And I went through all of my floss and I'm missing 12 colors. So I'm like, it's okay. I'll just start the piece and put those colors in when I get to them. Or when I can get them. The very first color off the hop that I need, I don't have. The second color, I don't have. Now, I have a couple bucks in the bank. And this part of me is kind of debating, do I go over to Michael's? Just pick up a couple colors? Like, just those, like, first ones I'm going to use? I might have to go over to Michael's. We shall see. But anyway, reading update. What little reading I have done today. I read the first 3 chapters in Jessi's Secret Language, book number 16 in the Babysitters Club series. Listened to that on audio. So I did that while I was doing a little bit of knitting this morning. But yeah, that's about it. That's been my day so far. No video today. I will be doing a video tomorrow, but you guys are going to see this after that, so it really doesn't matter. And Missy is currently sitting on my foot. And yeah, that's about it for right now, guys. I really think what I need to do is start editing this vlog, because I have a feeling it's going to be super long. Like, I was looking over the last 2 days, like the 4th and the 5th, and I think it's like something like 35 minutes of clips. So, sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Anyway, I think that's what I'm actually going to do. I think the cross stitch is just going to go to the side for right now, and maybe I'll go over to Michael's tomorrow. I think that's what I'm going to do. And I think I got to turn the camera because you got to see Moo. Plus, you got to see my pants. So I've been wearing, I have like stretch pants, leggings, stretch pants, leggings from a company called Sweet Legs, Sweet, S-W-E-E-T, Legs, L-E-G-G-S. And they're actually a Canadian company from British Columbia. And I haven't bought from them in a few years, like since well before I got like transplanted and all that stuff. But I remember the last time I bought from them, the leggings were $25 a pair. Now, it seems a little pricey when you get them at Walmart for probably like $10, but these are good. Like, I've had some of these pairs for 5 or 6 years, and they're really colorful. Sorry. Okay, there are trees behind her. There's the tree here, like in our neighbor's yard, but comes into our yard. Because it's a tree and you can't tell it what to do. And then our neighbors behind us have a tree as well. We don't actually have any trees in our backyard, but it's all the... Anyway, a squirrel. They think this is Cirque du Soleil because the squirrels are jumping from tree to tree branch. And Missy's like... And I just was like... Anyway, if I can get on video, I will. The squirrels are funny, aren't they, Moo? But anyway, I have had some of these pairs, and they are... Like, they have ones that come out at Christmas. They have ones that come out at... Halloween, I have a Canadian pair. I have lots of, and the ones I'm wearing today are Christmas because I don't really care. The pair that is my favorite pair, I was wearing them yesterday. They're black, and they have a star pattern, like a constellation on them, and it's a repeating pattern, and it's also got the ECG echocardiogram mark, which is this. I don't know if I can show it. You know, the one that when you're seeing it on somebody's yada yada yada. So one of the founders, her son had congenital heart disease, which is what I had pre-transplant, and what my old heart had, basically. And he passed away, and they sold these leggings. This was years ago. This has to be going back 4 or 5 years ago. Like, this was pre-COVID. And I've had some of these pairs of leggings since pre-COVID. And I'm pretty sure the ones I'm wearing I bought before COVID. But anyway, back to my story. So I believe the little boy passed away, and in his memory, they sold these leggings to raise money for congenital heart disease, like to donate, basically. And the constellation was the constellation in the sky when he was born, I think, like what the sky looked like above where he was born, because you can get those things online. You can find that information. And then the ECG, I believe, was his ECG. And I just, like, it, of course, meant something big to me, too, because, you know. Anyway, so I picked this top today, which is kind of a forest green top. It's one of my favorites. It's loose and comfortable. But let me turn around. I'll show you Missy and the leggings. I realized I didn't have to turn anything around. I just have to turn the camera down. I turned it around, and I'm like, now you're seeing my wall. That makes no sense. So first of all, here's Moo. Hi, Moo. And here are my super cool leggings. I don't know if you can see them. There are llamas on them. Do you see them? They're llamas. Christmas llamas. Hee hee. I love them. Anyway, check out Sweet Legs if you're interested. They have like kid sizes, regular sizes, and like plus sizes and stuff. And I think they now sell all kinds of stuff like accessories and t-shirts and all the things. But they used to only sell leggings. And yeah, I have to check them out again since I haven't bought a pair in years and years, and I just love them. But anyway, I'm yammering. This is why this vlog is going to be super long. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Good morning, BookTube, and happy Saturday. Today is what day is it today? It's the 7th of March, and it is just after 10 in the morning, and as you can see, guys, it is foggy out because it is beautiful outside. It's currently +6, and for my American friends, you're like, oh, that's freezing. But no, actually, +6 is double it, 12. It's about 40-something Fahrenheit, so that's not bad. I mean, considering what it's been in the negatives. But yeah, it's lovely outside this morning. And I am sitting outside the grocery store right now. Garrett had to run in to get cat food. This is the only thing we have to buy today. Today we are having leftovers. Today's the day of leftovers. I've got leftover nachos for lunch, which I'm very excited about because what I did when I made the nachos last night, when I made the taco meat or whatever, is I split it and I only put half of it with taco meat or taco seasoning, which was for me. And then the other half was unseasoned other than salt and pepper. Well, Garrett did his own thing, but he added onions and jalapenos and olives to his. So that's what flavored the meat for him. So we kind of did our own thing in a way. But yeah, so I've got leftovers of my stuff for lunch, and then for dinner we're gonna have the leftover spaghetti from a couple nights ago. Finish that off, throw out whatever we don't, because it's not gonna keep another day, you know what I mean? So yeah, we just decided we're just gonna do kind of a leftover kind of day today, and we'll figure out dinner tomorrow, for whatever we're gonna have tomorrow. The clocks go forward tonight, like overnight, like at 2 in the morning. So that's a fun thing to happen. But anyway, I have not done any reading or anything at all yet today. Well, I was very productive this morning. I edited the vlog till now. So I'm very happy with that. So later on this afternoon, maybe after dinner, is when I'll end this vlog out for the day, and then I'll finish the editing and get it posted tonight for my members, and then it'll go live for everybody. Of course, you guys will all see it tomorrow, which is very exciting. So yeah, not much else to report. And once we're done this, we're gonna go to the dollar store after after Garrett finishes at the grocery store. And I think I might go to Starbucks. Where's Starbucks? It's over here. It's in this plaza. The dollar store's like over, you can see it, Dollarama, you can see it right there. And the Starbucks is across the way from there. And then I'll hit Tim Hortons for Garrett because he's gonna want another cup of tea, which is fine. Yeah, and like I said, it's only 20 after 10. So we'll be done everything by 10:45. I can go home, I can relax, I can listen to today's little bit of my Babysitters Club book. But yeah, I hope to update you guys today. I'm going to be working some more on the Pretty Little Toronto cross-stitch picture. I didn't update you guys yesterday, so I did end up going to Michael's. And I did end up picking up the few flosses I needed. I only actually needed like 4, and they're 79 cents each. So it was like, no, I needed 5, so that was like less than $5. And there was a 40% off coupon. It wasn't 40% off everything, but it was 40% off one of the pieces. So I got 32 cents off. But anyway, it only came to like 4 something, so that was great. But anyway, Garrett's back with the cat food. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Hello, friends. So we are back from the store, and I am doing my usual fun Saturday activity of filling my pill containers. And I just had to laugh. I had to show you this. So these are my immunosuppressants, the Myfortic. I take 8 of these a day. And I was reading this. It says, acids, whatever, coated tablets. At first, when I saw that, I'm like, ooh, candy-coated tablets. I've been taking these for a ludicrous amount of time, like since transplant. I'm like, these are clearly not candy-coated, but that's where my brain is right now. But yeah, so... But like warning labels galore on everything, But yeah, so I am filling my pills. Fun times. These pills, the ones I just showed you, do not actually go in the containers. I have to cut them because I take 4 every 12 hours. And they have to stay in these containers, in these little packages, until I actually take them. They're disgusting. They taste horrific. And yeah, so that's not fun. And then I've got the rest of all of my pills in here. So yeah, so that's what we're doing right now. Fun times. Final pill update, I promise. I just thought I'd share. For anyone else who is on who takes a lot of meds to basically keep you alive. I love my little pill container. I've had this forever, like since way before transplant. And it's just got the morning and night in it, right? And yeah, I got this off of Walmart. I think it was like less than $20. But yeah, I just think it's super cute. And it's nice and colorful. Like I said, if you got to take a bunch of pills to keep you alive every day, you might as well make it fun. So I've got this, and I actually keep it in this, which is an old knitting bag. But it fits perfectly. So I put all those, like I count out exactly 14 of these, like, you know, that I have to cut them up. I've got some other meds in here that I take on a sporadic basis. And then this, if I'm traveling, the whole thing can just come with me, which is kind of great. If I was traveling, like, you know, going somewhere like far, I can actually get blister packs from the hospital pharmacy. Like, so it's like, you know, basically like these, but it's like all the pills every day, you know, like in blister packs. And it's better for when you're going through security, I'm assuming. But anyway, the pills are done, which means I've done all of my adulting for today. Now I get to read, relax, watch BookTube, and do some stitching. I'll check in with you guys later. Hello, friends. I thought I would share with you the lovely birthday card I got in the mail from one of you, well, a good friend of mine. She watches this channel, but we do sprints together. That's all the information I'm going to give you. I am covering addresses here on the card, like on the envelope, because the envelope is super pretty. But look at that card. Isn't that stunning? I love hummingbirds. They're beautiful. But yeah, lots of stickers on this. Says here for the books. Books. And then on the back, I love this so much. That would make another great tattoo, I think. Absolutely. Beautiful flowers. Look at the stickers. I just love stickers. We're at the dollar store today. I was looking at all kinds of stickers. But I absolutely love that. I'm going to save the envelope. Just so I can save that, because I still say that would make an awesome tattoo. But anyway, guys, that's just a little something. Hello, friends. So it is after 5 o'clock at night, and I am coming to you with actually what is going to be the final clip of the vlog, because nothing else terribly interesting is going to happen in this vlog, I don't think. So I want to get this edited and posted so it's ready to go for tomorrow. But the reason I decided to pop on is to share with you some reading. So I have done a bit of reading today. I read my few chapters in Jessi's Secret Language by Ann M. Martin. I am now 40% of the way through that one. Pardon me. I also read a few more chapters in, let me grab the book because I have the physical book here. And I did listen to this on audio because I did borrow this on audio from my library. But I decided to listen to it because I was doing some cross stitch. So, A Nest of Vipers by Harini Nagendra? Sorry, I'm going to say that completely wrong. I do sincerely apologize. 1000% apologize. And I'm enjoying this one quite a bit, so I'm about that far into it now. And I finished a book today, guys. I finished a book that's been on that I've had on my currently reading for, according to my spreadsheet, 26 days. This is part of the reason why I'm like, oh, I should really just focus on like 3 or 4 books at a time. But right now, that's not where my brain is. You know, maybe in a few months it will be. Maybe it won't. But I'm just going to continue doing what I'm doing. I mean, in all reality, like I use the Bookly app. So I actually finished this book in about 3 hours, like in total time read. But there were days I didn't read it and stuff like that. So I finished reading Colton K-9 Cop by Addison Fox. And I really enjoyed this one. I ended up giving it 4.5 stars. So I talked about this in previous vlogs about this book. I mean, like I said, I've been reading it for 26 days. That, of course, as soon as I pick up the camera, Missy's got to be right here. That it was weird to me that it's a Colton book that is not a romantic suspense. All the Colton books are published under the Silhouette or Harlequin romantic suspense line. This is an intrigue novel, and I think I know the reason why. From reading the book, I think I understand why, but I'm not going to share that right now with you guys. I'm going to share that in my wrap-up video on Monday, so do stay tuned. This is, to quote one of my new favorite YouTubers, just because he is totally goofy and ridiculous and he does these silly eating challenges, I'm doing this for the plot. He always says, I'm doing it for the plot. So yeah, anyway, Sir Yacht, did I say that? Yeah, he's young, he's like in his like mid to late 20s, and he does these ridiculous eating challenges, like eating nothing but Popeyes for a week, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's insane. It's like only something that a dude with a stomach of steel in his late 20s or mid 20s could actually do. But yeah, anyway, so that is that. I've done some cross stitch. I'm not going to show it to you guys because it's over there and I don't want to grab it. And I don't want to move Missy out of, ow, she keeps digging her claws into my leg. Like, I understand she's happy and she's doing biscuits, like she's doing like air biscuits, but it's like claws into my leg. And you know, my thighs don't need to be any softer, Moo. They're quite good. But anyway, guys, I really appreciate you watching. I know this vlog was all over the place. I had a couple days where it was like, I did clips like 6 times a day. And other days I missed, but like, that's life. That's life, you know? And yeah, but, and I hope to get back on the train for recording videos because I did not record any videos over the last 3 days. So you didn't see anything new from me Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, but today, like, this will be going up on Sunday. So you'll be seeing this then. And yeah, that's it, guys. I'm gonna go make my spaghetti dinner soon. My leftover nachos for lunch were so good. I made way too much. And then Garrett came up later because he had his leftovers for lunch. He's like, yeah, we're gonna need more Tostitos. Because we still have a whole half a jar of salsa to eat. And I'm like, well, that's twist my arm. But yeah, anyway, guys, I'm rambling at this point. I'm gonna let you go. I appreciate y'all for watching so much. And yeah, I'll talk to y'all in my next video. Take care and happy reading, everybody.